Welcome everyone. We'll start our lessons today. Today we are doing our third lesson, which is will cover LO3, Learning Outcome 3. So before starting today lesson, we'll discuss what we covered up to now, what we learned. Yes, Manu, what we learned up to now? Anything we discuss? Hello? Can you hear me, Manu? So what we learned up to now? Any point? If you want to write, you can as well. What do you think? What we learned up to now?
Hello?
Yes, Manu.
Yeah, we learned about the ethics of the businesses, like the morals,
Okay, good. What else?
uh, about those theories and the activities.
Yes, so we learn about the theories about ethical theories.
Yes.
We discuss some legislations.
Yeah.
We discuss Data Protection Act. We discuss about Health and Safety Act. We discuss about stakeholders and their interests during our last lesson. We discuss conflict of interest, and we discuss about ethical principle. We discuss about human rights. We discuss about EU, UK and EU, some legislation, and we discuss about employment law. We discuss about what is the difference between criminal and civil law during our lessons as well. So these all sort of things is quite a mixture of things we discuss to cover these all LO1, LO2 learning outcome. So now we are doing LO3, which is learning outcome 3. I'd link, sometime LO1, LO3 and LO2, 3 and 4 is quite mixed. We discuss about CSR. What is CSR stand for?
Some corporate responsibilities, social responsibilities.
Corporate social responsibility as an organization. What sort of responsibility we have towards our towards society. So we always looking in the best interest of the society in the wider public interest. So we discuss about CSR. We discuss about triple bottom line concept as well, where we discuss about we need to care about the profit, we need to look around the planet, and we need to look around the people. So all we have a corporate social responsibility to balance them all. During our last lesson, we discussed about the balance scorecard, financial perspective, social perspective, and all. So, and we discuss about sustainability, mean the ability of the organization to perform without the compromising the future generation rights. So all this we discuss under sustainability. We quoted a lot of example about the sustainability. So sustainable environment in our organization. So we're cutting the pollution. We need to increase the efficiency. We need to improve it within our organization. We need to improve the practices. We need to look around, cutting the CO2 levels, economic sustainability, social sustainability, and profitability. All these sort of things we discussed during our previous lesson. There are a lot of UNO declaration on human rights. Those we'll discuss. If we don't follow them, we can't sustain in a business. So if we'll do bad thing, we cheat people, we cheat customer, we not provide the good quality, it will be happen. We can't sustain. So sustainability is a broad concept. So social responsibility, we can read any company's social responsibility report, which they publish with their financial reports as well. So we can find any company and their financial corporate social responsibility reports we can read and we can discuss as well within our assignment. So all these sort of things we discussed during our previous lesson as well. So today we are moving forward and we'll discuss today's LO3. LO3 is learning outcome assessment criteria 3.1, 3.2 will be focus our discussion today. And 3.1 is explain how the business objective are affected by the ethical consideration. So summarize the regulatory framework for CSR, corporate social responsibility, was a regulatory framework towards CSR, corporate social responsibility we can. There can be a conflict of interest because corporate social responsibility and the profitability, because profitability can be our own interest, but the corporate social responsibility where we're looking the overall interest of the society. So all this we need to be balanced, and that's why there are a lot of theories we need to be follow. So today our discussion will be focused on LO3, current ethical issues facing by the businesses. So there are a number of issues facing by the businesses, which we'll go through: globalization, global warming, ethical, child labor, carbon footprint, uh, high obesity level, high sugar level, uh, want to be high profit, want to be protect the rights and as well intellectual property right. There are the software like the sharing the information to other, how we could involve others like Facebook, the data loss and software privacy, counterfeiting and the peer-to-peer file sharing schemes are the books, ebooks and electronic data, how we'll make sure we protect all. So these are all different issues in different business environment and different business setting. So different country have their own ethical, morally setting and the issues, those around them. So we need to look around. That's the local people getting higher salary and the foreigner getting less salary. If you have a British passport, you're getting more salary in Middle East, 4 times higher than the other people. That is unethical practices is happening in the businesses. Why just the base of the passport, our identity, we are giving more salary to the and less salary to the other people? That's a big practice, is happening. So lot of discussion going around under UN and various other regulatory bodies as well. This is totally against the ethical practices of the business. If you want to be ethical champion in a business, so you have to look around these things, fair wages, working condition, holidays pay, pension, holding the client passport, you can't travel around without the permission of the employer. So there are a lot of practices in terms of the businesses. So we need to look around in an ethical perspective as well. So these are quite crucial things which is happening throughout the world as well. So today our lesson focus will be introduction to globalization and cultures. We'll go discuss some cultural issues, how we can in terms of the corporate and ethical and social values as a society, and we'll go through these and we can link within our assignment perspective as well. So then I wish we'll at the end of the lesson we'll discuss about whistleblow. Whistleblow is a huge concept. So what is meant by this? Do you know what is meant by whistleblow?
No.
Amanur, what is meant
No.
by whistleblower?
No idea.
Okay, if you're working in an organization and you think, oh, your boss is stealing money from the business, so what you do, you whistleblow. Whistleblow, maybe you can pass information to the regulatory bodies, maybe the authorities you can mention, or maybe you can think about, you can be a whistleblower, yes?
Yes.
Without telling to anyone. So is ethically, is morally correct, we can whistleblow in terms of best interest of the society. So that's all. What about the globalization?
How fast we are rapidly communicating with the global.
Yes, so business have don't boundaries now. Like we're sitting here today, we are chatting. You're sitting in Saudi Arabia. We are doing business the other way around as well. No doubt we are delivering qualification, but we are doing business. So it's a globalization. So every country has some own ethical values. So it's not standardized things, because maybe in one society that thing is right, but in other society that thing may be in wrong. So that we need to be look around, maybe in due to some religious grounds, but the basic human rights is the main thing. Ethical is not only your belief as a religious belief, is mean how morally correct, which is crime against the humanity is no religion really allows. So we need to look around in a globalization, cheating customer and charging higher price, paying low salaries and manipulating profit. These unethical practices in a business. So we need to look around. These is a globalization like, mm, okay. Have you heard about dumping, anti-dumping?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll go through a bit, dumping and anti-dumping. So when we're looking dumping, okay, what China, what do you think China product? Is it
Sorry?
expensive? Is it cheap?
Yeah.
China's product is very, very cheap, very less costly, yes?
Yes.
Is it, what do you think? If we'll buy same thing in China, it will be more cheaper than we'll buy in Saudi Arabia.
Obviously, it will be cheap in China because when it comes to Saudi Arabia, the charges for delivery and they add their profit and etc.
Yes. So which is economic perspective is a correct. If in Saudi Arabia Chinese goods supposed to be expensive, then inside the same product in China, actually not. The product in China is expensive. The product they are selling abroad is cheaper. Some product. Okay. So even the cost, can we sell less than the cost?
No.
Okay. Dumping mean you're selling less than the cost. You're selling cheap, expensive in your country, and you're selling in other country is cheap. Why? Why you think? Why we are selling in other country cheaper than our own country?
So that they will buy more from us.
Okay, what will be happen when we'll sell the cheaper than our country, even less than the cost if we can afford few years. So what will be happen in few years? All the local industries will be close their businesses. They can't compete on the basis of the cost. So there is a rule. That's me. We are dumping it. We are selling lower than the cost. What is costing to organization, and ultimately what will be happen? The local businesses will carry on closing their business because they can't compete it with the foreign companies. And ultimately what will be happen? The foreign companies, when they get more shares in the market, then they will start raising the prices in few years time when all will be out of the business. So we want to kick them out of the business, so we do dumping. So anti-dumping is mean against the dumping. According to UNO or the trade laws, international trade, you can't sell it less than the cost. Few Chinese company always have been these issues dumping and anti-dumping, especially now steel. That's why the tariff and protectionism against now Donald Trump war with China and introducing new trade tax, on the product. So that's all about the dumping and anti-dumping to protect the local economy. So a lot of discussion going around in academia. So we can look around the globalization. It means you're selling goods more than one country, international trade. Okay. Any question?
Yeah, I want to ask if they're selling less than the cost, that will not be in their loss. Like they will be in loss, right?
Yeah, so we are a loss maker for a few years because we are getting foreign exchange as well. Because when we are selling in their market is a cheaper product, a lot of customer will buy our product.
Mm.
So like if the Saudi company make the product and the Chinese company's product is a cheaper in Saudi Arabia, we as a customer prefer, which is give us more value for money, yeah. As long maybe we have a loyalty with the country or with the own country, so we need to look around. Maybe we'll still say it doesn't matter, it's expensive, I'll buy Saudi make product instead of China make product. So dumping is mean you're selling them less. What will be happen if we'll carry on selling less than the cost in that market? The local company will close their business.
Mm.
So when the local company will close their business, what we'll do, we will raise our prices with the passage of time. Then it means we are kicking them out of the business, and then we are getting monopoly, and then we can carry on, doing. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's all about it. Dumping. You're selling less than. There are the law. This is an illegal activity.
Dumping.
Yes, it's illegal according to international trade, but this is happening in the world. Yes, sometimes we think how they on earth they can make this product in pence, in cents. Yes.
Yeah.
So because of course, one, no doubt they are producing in trillions, not billions. But second thing, they want to capture the market, and with the passage of time, the industries suffer, local industries. So is ethical as a business, we have an interest to buy the local product, is a morally, and we need to work in the best interest of the local public. Every country have a right to do so. Any question?
No.
Okay, so next we are looking professional ethics. What is the definition of? We discussed once, twice. So again, professional ethics, the morally principle. When we are doing dumping in the globalization is morally wrong, yes?
Mm.
The standard that govern the conduct of the member of an organization. So as a conduct is not a right conduct of the, it's not a right things to do. So we need to look around these things as well. Like, Facebook. Yes?
Mm.
So we all use Facebook. So Facebook paid only £4,000 tax in the UK. Only £4,000 they paid tax, and they earn their income was they earn around 75 million. They earn 75 million from UK, and they paid 4,000 tax. What do you think? Is that correct?
No, that's less, right?
It's not right, because what they did, they are investing in other countries, and they transfer all the losses to the UK, and then they're saying they not earn the profit from the overall profit throughout the world, so that's why they're paying 4,000 tax here. So they just justify, but morally is ethically wrong, because you're doing business here, you pay tax here. Yes.
Yeah.
So all about. So professional ethics, we need to look around these in wider context. So then next we are looking the conceptual framework approach. What is meant by conceptual framework? This means to identify and evaluate the threats to the fundamental ethical principles, put in place safeguard to minimize or eliminate these threats. So is a fundamental interest, so we need to protect the local economy. It's a fundamental, we need to boost the businesses, local businesses. It is a fundamental or ethical principle to work in the welfare of the society. So when we are doing wrong thing as a business, when we are increasing price uncertainly very high, because we know the monopoly. What is meant by monopoly?
The only one who is in the market.
Yeah. So when we have a monopoly, so one company, which is, if even we have a monopoly, because no one else is doing business in a country, so still we need to work in the best interest of the public. But normally in a monopoly is not happening this way. So still we have a fundamental ethical principle. We charge the reasonable profit, not the profit which is people can't afford. Everyone need to buy a bread. So if the bread prices we can increase, we'll say 200 pound, 300 pound bread, still people will buy it. If we are only one company, we are producing and selling bread, which is morally wrong. We sell such expensive. So we need to look around the conceptual framework. Okay, advertising on kids, children. Can we advertise on children?
Sometimes.
Sometime, yes. So we need to look around. Without the permission of their parents, we can't publish their pictures on the on Facebook or various other, because these are the ethical principles we have to follow as a business. Okay. Can we say in business, is this religion, that's bad, that's good? No, because we have to do business and we need to present the value. We don't need to do anything against the fundamental principle of the public or different cultures. Yes. So veggie burger, yes, that's fine. We have to sell veggie burger in India. We have to sell halal food in Arabic countries. Yes. We have to follow their legislation, their rules when we are there. So think globally and act locally is a quite popular phrase. Think global and act local. Yes, act according to the local wishes and desire of the people. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to look around this ethical principle. Then next we have, whenever we are talking the ethics, so we are looking the rule-based approach. The rule-based approach. One is called principle-based approach. One is called rule-based approach. So rule, we need to approach to the professional ethic is mean they apply any rule exactly as stated, regardless of the circumstances. Whatever the circumstances, child labor is unethical. Yes, we need to look around, is unethical everywhere. We can't say it's ethical, because ethical rule we need to apply it. Yes, fair wage, we need to pay the fair wage. People can live and people can bear it. Just one second. Can I pick the please?
Yeah, sure.
Hello. So that's we need to be look around these rule based. Okay, next. Any question?
No.
So next we're looking now corporate social responsibility. What is meant by objective and policies adopted an organization to support sustainability and sustainable development. So corporate social responsibility is the objective of the organization to set the policies and procedure for sustainable growth and sustainable development. So we can sustain, environment can sustain, people can sustain in our organization. If we don't pay the fair wage, if we don't work of the society, if we don't buy the local material, if we don't buy the local product, what will be happen? Local industry will close. If we don't provide the jobs for the local people, yes, we need to be recruit from abroad if we have a skill shortage. But these are the corporate social responsibility. have you heard about social accounting?
Mm, no.
Okay. Social accounting. Let's say there is no industry in Saudi Arabia, for suppose we can buy everything from China. What will be happen then?
There won't be any development here. Like, they won't even think of making one industry.
So then won't be any jobs.
Yeah.
When people don't get the jobs, what will be happen? People don't have a money. When the people don't have a money, ultimately, so as a social accounting, we need to look around what is the best for the society. Even we can get goods cheaper from China. We need to look around the jobs will lost. But maybe some areas as a company we can't sustain it because we are not competitive anymore. So what we can do, maybe something our call center or IT service, maybe we can move to India, we can move to any other part of the world. So that's this to improve the sustainability. Yes. So we as a business we will carry on, we'll save the money on those areas and we provide the cheaper goods to the customer. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
That's all is come under the corporate. We learn about triple bottom line concept and all these different. Any question?
No.
Organization should comply with the spirit to the regulation and should be include the key ethical organization value in the code of practices. So these are being transparent with the colleague. Transparent. Yes, people can see how much bonus being paid to the big bosses, how much bonus we paid to the, how much price we charge, how often we paying to supplier, all need to be transparent. So reporting financial and regulatory information clearly and on time. So like we have a company called Tesco, I think so they have operation in various part of the world, in Saudi Arabia as well. I'm not 100% sure. So Tesco is a cash and carry business. They're selling foods, clothes, and various other things. So they manipulate the profit. So their profit was 160 million. They said 220 million. So that's the reporting financial and regulatory information, not on time, not clearly. So we're supposed to be being open and honest, identify when appropriate, accept and give the gift to the hospitality we can. We need to look around. Okay, next, paying supplier a fair price on time, providing fair treatment, decent wage, and the good working condition. Good working condition, we need to provide them gloves, we need to provide them sun hats, we need to provide them creams, we need to look around all this. These are our ethical, morally responsibility as an employer. Okay, so हेलो, वालेकुम सलाम। अभी मैं नीचे फोन देता हूँ। जी शुक्र। Sorry, just 1 second. Manur, can you hold please? Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, next, so we're looking that these are the values we need to look around: being open, honest, and by identifying and when it's appropriate, give gift and hospitality, paying supplier a fair price on time, and providing the fair treatment, decent wage, and the good working condition. Okay, so all this we need to look around the organization value. Next, we're looking the culture. Within our learning outcome, we have an issue and we have to discuss about within those points. And cultural sometimes is quite, it's good to understand the different culture, customs, beliefs, values, behaviors of the people in a country or group is called culture. Low context culture is the people communicate directly and explicitly. Bother is low context culture, people communicate directly and explicitly. High context culture communicate tends to occur through the non-verbal signs and indirect suggestions. Any question?
No.
Okay, so when we are looking the globalization, so we need to look around to understand the culture, and 6 areas we need to focus on in terms of when we going reduce the cost, reduce the risk, improve the supply chain, better goods and services, attract new market and extract and remain and imply global knowledge and talent. As ethically, morally, we need to look around under the globalization as well. So there are some theories as international trade, which we can discuss in ethical perspective. To gain the trade advantage, a country should be specialized in the product and the services and provide more efficient than other countries. So that's the comparative advantage theory. Product life cycle, maybe in one product we have it decline, we can enter in other countries, but still we need to be look around, we charge the fair prices because we are balance of trades. We need to look around in term of the balance of trade is accounting statement which international transactions are recorded and consist as ethical and morally we need to look around as well. Current account is the value and the goods and services export and import as well, and capital account. So all this we can look around. I'll send you this case study as well. Hamburger in India. That's what is the culture. Culture is how the people behave, and like we discussed in the previous slide. Characteristic of culture learned, acquired by learning or experience. Culture can be, so we as a ethical point of view, we need to learn about the culture. Shared, not specific to the single individual. Transgeneration, cumulative, passed down to from one generation to other generation. Might be few years back in Saudi Arabia, women were not allowed to drive, now is allowed. Yes, so culture is carry on changing. So it's not the values or the things used to. So we need to look around the symbol. The culture is based on the human capacity, and symbolize or use the thing represent another pattern. So as the structure is integrated, a change is one part will bring the change in other part. Adoptive, we need to based on the human capacity to change. So we need to look around in the culture. The people can adopt it, and the ethical values we need to set it. Centralized, decentralized decision. Maybe in some country everything is keep with the bosses, and they make decision, which is ethically we need to look around. Is it right? But we have in the culture been developed in many years. They think is right. Yes, maybe in some country democracy and um, so maybe in some countries work for them were not for others. So maybe they still main thing is they working the well wishes of their society. Centralized and decentralized decision, safety versus risk, individual versus group reward, informal versus formal procedures. So we need to look around the culture, and we can set these. In some society, people take the risk, not bother about, but in some so safety is more risk. So maybe people are happy to pay more money, but they want safety issues to be addressed. So all this, how can culture and the society management approaches high and low organization loyalty. In some countries, maybe people not loyal with the organization, so they more loyalty toward their return and their rewards, and low loyalty. Maybe some countries and some cultures, maybe. So this varies, cooperation versus competition. Maybe some company people in cultures people are more cooperative than others. In other culture, may people have more competition with each other. Or why this is gaining? I will work hard. I will do this as well, and this. Maybe other society is not bothered about short term and long term. Maybe some people in some countries, in some cultures, people looking short term, not looking long term. Stability versus innovation. Maybe some organization or some culture people say, okay, we are stable, we are doing is absolutely fine. That's fine. We're not bothered about the innovation because we have enough cash, we are well off, so we don't want to be new technologies, and we want to stay as it is. So there are different model of the culture we can use. What are the values? Value are the basic conventions people have, concern, right or wrong. So in different countries, different thing. So stealing £1 or stealing a million, it can be wrong. And in maybe some people in some culture maybe think is not a big thing, yeah. So we need to look around all these values as an organization. We need to be, but we need an ethical standard of state. He gave some cultural model, 5 dimensions. So power distance. Some cultures have a more power and distance, extent to which less powerful member of the institution and organization accept the power is distributed unequally. Uncertainty and avoidance, in extent to which the people feel threatened, ambiguous situation and have created a belief in institution. Individualism and collectivism in some cultures may be more individual. So like, eating food, maybe other cultures not asking next your friends, come on, join me. In maybe one society, we live collectively, we live in a one house, we sharing things. So in other cultures, so when we are doing these are advertising campaign, you may be seen the Pepsi advert and various others. So when they advertise the Pepsi, whole family is sitting together and someone is getting the asking the Pepsi from the grandparents and the youngster. So it shows the collective culture. So as a organization, we need to reflect on within our advertising campaigns as well. Like some colors, in some cultures are very harm, or like the white color wearing ladies in India is mean the sadness sign, if husband died. So in other cultures is mean maybe happiness. So as a collectively, ethically, morally, those colors, we need to look around and we need to use them effectively in terms of different cultures. Any question?
No.
So these are masculinity, a cultural character which the dominant value of the society. Money. Success is a money. Oh, if you are rich, you are a successful, more materialistic. Maybe in other country, people not lead the success by the measure by the money. Success measured by their satisfaction level. All this we need to look around. Femininity, a culture characteristic in which the dominant value are the caring others and the quality of life. I don't bother about the money, but we care others, we care animals, we care quality of life. So all this is matters. Not big cars, small cars, not really, it's not better about the cars, what type of big house, small house. So all this we need to look around. Time orientation is the faith and the newer dimension. This is not known, but is adding more dimension, which is looking under the culture. So Hofstede model, we can use it. Then other is model, so cultural dimension, individualism, all this is the communications and all. So I'm not going through, but in different cultures have different uh, model they adopt. We'll go here like time. In some cultures maybe have a different views about the time, different views about environment, culture, and Hofstede and various other, they divide into the cluster, like the Arabic cultures, Western cultures, and various other cultures. So many MNCs, multinational companies, to successful must carefully address the cultural similarities and difference. Like Renault, one of the car manufacturing, is quite good on the YouTube link. We can use it to further to watch. So what you can do, you can copy this link. It's a lot of 150 companies and cultures and ethical issues being discussed. So what we can do, we can copy this link. So it will work, so we can paste it. Manur, any question?
No.
So this we can watch as well, all about the cultures. Maybe it's outdated. Come on. Don't know why I'm not working, but I'll check in. I'll resend you the link as well. Okay, so that's all about the cultures. So then in multinational, the most of the affect and constant trying to adjust the local people needs in various companies in various countries. So we need to look around the standard in each country. Customer wants some maybe different, so customer prefer to buy local product. Different difficulty to manage global organizations sometimes. So we need to look around cosmetic product in some cultures. Maybe we need to look around animal testings and things as well. So how the marketing message will deliver in different countries. So we need to look around cultural. So all these are the examples. We don't need too much, but we can pick, the examples which we can quote in our assignments as well. Any question?
Okay.
So like time control in France, in India, in Russia, in China, in manage across culture. So as well is their example. So next is the example here. One of the company. New phone is a client which is sell the mobile phone via call center. The financial director is fully qualified accountant and recently been number of complaint from ACB has been investigated. Elderly lady been pressured and buying a new released smartphone. Customer was missold a contract and they were told that the 3-month contract when in fact it was 12 months. The card payment has been delivered proceed 500 instead of £50, and financial director is fully aware of these actions. What do you think? Is it morally correct?
No.
Yes. So payment charging more,
Yeah.
pressure selling. Explain the 3 operational skills. Risk can be the company can face, as well as the potential consequences of the customer complaint. So first we can look around. Explain 3 operational risk can be face reputation risk, that be if they don't follow that the operational risk, people risk from the staff dishonesty or the culture that allows such behavior within our organization that represent the culture of the organization. Legal risk from the fact that these contracts can be probably not to be enforced. Process risk, lack of internal control place within our organization which can't prevent it, the behavior of the staff. So we need to look around. And 2 consequences which can be, so FD financial director can be face the legal action of the theft and the fraud. Financial directors can be subject to disciplinary actions by the organization or bring the profession into dispute or the financial director internally. So all these come under the ethics point of view. So next we looking whistleblowing. So that's the concept is carry on coming. A person who tells someone else in authority about something is illegal that is happening within an organization for which they work. So that concept is called whistleblowing. So most of the people do this is after they have resigned. But what about who remain at work after the whistleblowing? What are the consequences for them? So we can look around the whistleblower and we need to work in the best interest of the company. Then we have a legislation about the whistleblower. It's called Public Interest Disclosure Act in 1998, PIDA, referred as the whistleblower charter, which we need to protection of employees when the following has likely occurred: a criminal offense, breach of the legal obligation, miscarriages of justice, endangerment of individual health and safety, and environmental damage. So all this we need to be under the act, we need to be followed for the professional code of ethics. So today we discuss about corporate social responsibility. We discuss about the globalization, we discuss about culture, we discuss about environment. What is meant by fair trade?
We're fairly trading with them, like we're not making more profit, or like maybe we're selling something more expensive to someone else and less expensive to someone else.
Yes, so under fair trade is come, we use more organic food, yes.
Yeah.
Natural foods we produce, we use less plastic, we cut, we protect the environment, we don't use the child labor, we less, the animal testing. So all this come under the fair trade, yes. Any question? Outsource mean, of course, for the sustainability, we can outsource some activities. Personal attitudes of the individual need to be ethical attitudes. Whistleblow, we discuss somebody can telling something which is going or wrong is happening, contribution to the business, that's towards community. That need to be ethics in the sales and marketing, telling the truth to the people. Ethics in the intellectual property right, who is the responsible and it will give them right to do something. Ethics need to be in place as well. Within, we discuss about software privacy, counterfeits and peer-to-peer file sharing. So all these things we need to address in a business environment. And current ethical issues, obesity levels, high sugar level, even some product can be leads to the cancer. Smoking, and the smoking cigarette is need to be clearly, it's better to be not produce it. So that's all come under the ethical issues. Any question?
Mm.
Okay, so I'll upload one case study to read as well, which is called Business Culture in International Business. So it's quite good to read, and you can reference in your assignment as well. And I'll send some ethical documents as well, which we can read, some journal articles. So you can reference as well when we'll do assignment. So when we'll do last lesson, we'll recap an assignment. We'll go through each task and we'll try to discuss, what sort of the heading can be. We can address it, all the learning outcomes.
This will
Any
be in the next
questions?
class. The
Yes.
assignment
So
discussion will be in the next.
yes, next class, we'll do the discussion on assignment. So I'll do separate, lessons for you, marketing one, which I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice time. Okay. Inshallah, speak to you then next week.